Am I the idiot for not allowing my cousin to be invited to my wedding? Hello Reddit, I'm female 23, and I'm getting married this May to my long-term boyfriend male 27. We've been waiting to get married for about a year since we've been saving up our finances to move out, and now is the perfect time to start the process of getting married. I'm very excited. We have told our intermediate families so far, and they are all ecstatic for us and support us 100%. However, there is just one problem. I have a cousin female 25, who has bullied me my entire life. I do not want said cousin at my wedding. Growing up, she made my life a living hell. She never missed a chance to make fun of me, and she used to physically bully me as well. I remember times she would make up scenarios and would tell me people from school called me ugly, fat, and a slut just to make me upset and feel insecure about myself. At one point she even admitted she was jealous of me. These days I feel like we're only civil because our moms are very close. Her mom is my mom's sister. This piece helps our family stick together, and there have been no major incidents since then. To this day, she still makes snide remarks or backhanded comments to me. I've come to realize that putting up with that toxic behavior is unhealthy, and this is my wedding day. I deserve to feel happy. I decided that I don't want to invite her to something that is supposed to be one of the happiest days of my life. She doesn't deserve to be a part of my happiness. I told my mother this and she was upset. She thinks if I invite my aunt's family and exclude said cousin, my aunt will be very upset and it will cause a whole family fight. My mom also said it will trigger her anxieties and make her feel uncomfortable at my own wedding. I told her if my aunt doesn't want to come because my cousin is uninvited, I would have no hard feelings towards her, and I completely understand. This wasn't enough for my mom, and she was still upset at my response. She doesn't think it's worth not inviting my cousin for one day, and that it would cause a lifetime of conflict. My fiancé thinks I'm in the right, and he personally doesn't want her at the wedding because of how she treated me in the past. He said it's our day and we can choose who we want at our wedding. I still feel like I might be the a-hole for potentially causing drama just because of not wanting to invite my cousin. If you want full detail on what my cousin did to me growing up, I will put it in the comments below. So Reddit, am I the idiot? Well, the original poster was very active in the comments, so here's the best of what I found. Not the idiot, but your mom has to be more supportive of you. Why did she not say anything to the cousin when this began? She has let this continue, and so has your aunt. You are right, and it is your day. Then the original poster responded with, she has in the past, and so has her mom, but my cousin still continued anyway. She was the type of kid growing up that didn't listen to anyone and constantly got in trouble for it. In general, my cousin didn't care about the consequences my aunt gave her about anything. Comment 2. Tell mom, if you haven't already, how much hell cousin put you through. Tell her you're annoyed that mom, sorry if sticking to mom and cousin, but too many, she's in a paragraph get confusing, should and could have saved you from some of that but didn't, and that, auntie's feelings be damned, your tormentor is not welcome at your wedding. Not the idiot all day long. Then the original poster responded with, sorry that I made it confusing for you. I told my mom numerous times in the past that I felt like no one really did anything about the situation. My mom tried to assure me that she tried her best to make sure my cousin didn't do anything to me. I believe she tried her best, but I don't think it did much. Comment 3. Not the idiot, your wedding, your guest list. Maybe this will finally make your family see the way your cousin treats you. Then the original poster responded with, my family is big on sticking together. I think they would see me as petty for doing something like that. Meanwhile, they turn a blind eye on what my cousin used to do to me. My grandma, the queen bee of the family, may the Lord rest her soul, was really the only one who put my cousin in her place. She would tell me she's a jealous bitch, and to not listen to a word she says. Now for the update. Hello again, Reddit. I just want to come back on here to give you guys an update. First and foremost, before I go to the update, I just want to thank you all for your helpful advice. It really helped me and my fiancé get a clearer perspective on what to do. Now for the update. My fiancé and I decided to just have a basic elopement. No celebration, no after dinner, nothing. We might go on a honeymoon afterwards. We aren't sure where to go, but I'm sure it'll be fun with no drama. We also decided to postpone the date of our elopement for a later date. As of the conversation with my mother, a couple days after I posted the original Reddit post, I talked to my mother. I told her I am not having my cousin at my wedding or any future important events of mine. I don't care that she will be upset. It's my day and I say who goes and who doesn't. After I told her, she just sat there in silence. When I mentioned everything my cousin did to me in the past and told her that she did nothing about it, she got defensive. She said she tried everything that she could, but I really don't believe that. A couple days ago I went on a hike with my father. My parents are divorced, and I told him the situation briefly. He decided to give me the full rundown about my mother's family, which was a very long conversation. He did not hold back. To no surprise, my father said throughout the marriage with my mother, she always chose her siblings and her mother over my father and her children. There were no boundaries on my mother's side. Everyone was in everyone's business. He told me about the bullying I received from my cousin from his perspective. For a long story short, my cousin was a horrible child. He told me it's not worth arguing with my mother about these things because she is delusional, and she will always take the side of her siblings instead of her children. I'm going to keep my distance from my family and keep working hard to save my money so I can move out of my mother's house. I understand now that I cannot be around my mother's side of the family at all. It would be a very unhealthy environment for my future children and husband. I don't want to make the same mistakes my mother made. I want to be the best role model my family could have. I will update more if there is anything else to update. I just wanted to thank you guys again for giving me the best advice to follow and keeping up with my story. Thank you. Comment 1. Good for you. No one needs this kind of toxicity in their life. You have to make your choices just as your mom made hers. You are going to be off to a much better start in your married life, removing those who don't really care about you from your personal universe. I hope you have a lovely wedding and a nice honeymoon. Comment 2. You're the idiot. Wow, you're really blowing things out of proportion here. It's just one day, and you're willing to sacrifice the peace of your entire family for it? Talk about being selfish. Sure, your cousin may have bullied you in the past, but that doesn't mean you should exclude her from such an important event. People change, and it's possible that she has grown up and regrets her past actions. By not inviting her, you're only perpetuating this cycle of negativity and causing unnecessary drama. Your mom is right to be upset with you. You should learn to forgive and move on instead of holding grudges. It's not worth ruining relationships over something that happened years ago. Get over yourself and try to be more considerate of others. Comment 3. Good for you and good for your dad. After my mother passed, my dad filled me in on all the family dirt. It really explained a lot of things that happened. It's a shame that things like this have to be kept under wraps to keep up appearances. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for telling my parents off for always favoring my adopted sister over me? When I, male 27, was 3, my parents, male 51, and female 49, adopted my newborn sister. She is deaf, and learned to read lips incredibly well. She also got better grades and had more friends. I had a few while she was very social despite her disabilities, than me as a child, and my parents always called her the best gift they could have asked for. They favored her, and gave her everything she asked for. They both made a lot of money, and sent her to a very nice private school, while I went to a weekly funded public school 2 blocks from my house. When I was 11, I was made fun of and bullied by a kid in my class, and my father told me to toughen up. I went to my teacher, who filed a report to the principal, who didn't do much, later, and my father called me weak for going to my teacher about a bully. The birthday parties for me were not really parties, but where I asked them to make my favorite dinner, and they reluctantly agreed. My sister received massive parties, where my parents typically got her around 10 expensive gifts on top of everything else. They funded her college education in full, while they had told me to make do with the tiny bits of money they gave me for chores that I had been saving. More recently, they have asked me straight to my face why I wasn't as intelligent, social, and successful as my sister. Mind you, I make $20,000 more than her with no degree. Recently, she got engaged to a guy, who I'm currently good friends with, and even learned sign language for my sister early in their relationship. They held a dinner party, where they openly talked about how they wish they had another golden child like my sister. They then asked me why I couldn't be like her. I got up and asked to talk to them outside. I told them that they were neglectful assholes who never cared about me, and that they were bad parents. I then argued with them further, and they said that they were simply trying to make her feel better about her disability. By the end of the argument, they admitted they never wanted a son, and always wanted a child that would impress people and who would make them look good. I left angrily, and told my best friend about it, who said that it was good that I was stranded with them. However, the rest of my family, excluding my sister, believed that I was an ungrateful, whiny witch who never appreciated what I had. Of course, this is after years of my parents telling them lies and after they told them a twisted version of the conversation. Am I the idiot for losing it at my parents for treating my sister much better than me for years and thinking of me as less than her? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your parents' answers were narcissistic. The reason to have children is not so they will make you look good. You deserve better than this. It sounds like nothing you do would be good enough for them. Then the original poster responded with, "Thanks. I've been trying to tell some family members the truth, but because they have known my parents longer, they trust their story more. Only a couple believe that both of us are wrong, instead of me being in the wrong." Comment 2. Agree with everyone else here, not the idiot, and you should very much consider putting some distance between you and your parents. You need to look out for yourself, and you don't have to keep putting up with people who are abusive. You exploded from years, decades of this. Put some distance there and get into some counseling. It'll help you deal with things in a healthy way and give you the tools to move on as a healthy person to have healthy relationships. Now, for the update. I followed the advice of some people in the comments and sent an email to my relatives. I told them they didn't have any proof that I was ungrateful and unappreciative for what I had, except for my parents' word, which wasn't much. I also asked why they never came to a single one of my birthday parties, why I went to a much shittier school, and why I spent so much time in my room when they came to visit, something I really didn't mention in my first post. They wanted me upstairs in my room for about 75% of all visits because they said they were embarrassed by me. I also had my sister vouch for me, saying they only wanted a golden child. About half of them believe me now, some still can't decide who's in the right, and some are saying that it's reasonable to want a perfect child and that kids are nuisances and that my parents were 100% in the right. I also determined that my sister had to know something was off. I told her that it would be a bit before I trusted her 100% again. She agreed, seemed surprised when I said it though. I've looked into therapy as well and my first appointment is in 2 weeks. Currently, I still have an urge to call my parents because I don't want to lose them, in case they change their minds. Something else in my head is telling me not to though. One of my close friends even told me that I should sue my parents, and that their wife's brother worked for a really good firm and that they could help me hire them. I don't really think the neglect was that serious for a lawsuit, however. I also wanted to say thank you to all the people who reassured me I wasn't in the wrong and also gave me advice. Have a nice day to anybody reading this. Comment 1. Definitely not in the wrong. They say they never wanted a son. I say give them that wish and cut them off permanently, keep them out of your life. They are toxic, abusive, and you don't deserve that treatment. Anyone who takes up their view needs to be cut off as well. Your parents aren't going to change. They will continue to make you miserable if you allow them to. I'm glad you're getting therapy to help you heal. Just please don't let them back in to hurt you. Comment 2. Going no contact with parents is hard for most even when they have been treated like poop for years. So happy you are getting into therapy. Please resist the urge to make contact until you have at least a few sessions under your belt. You'll likely find that in that time you'll realize your life is better without them in it. Find your chosen family and give your love and attention to those who deserve it. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.